Hello, everybody. This is Gerone Wright, and once again, you're joining me on my Geronification YouTube channel here on YouTube. Okay, or you can, it's Geronification, or I switched it to Gerone Wright. Okay, so you can join me at either by searching YouTube, searching either one, Gerone Wright or either Geronification. Okay, I have 200 plus some videos here, so I encourage everyone to look at my videos because they have pertinent information regarding the evolution, the true evolution of mankind, and encrypted Renaissance artworks. From that to multidimensional images and holographic images that I can see in space through my paranormal experience and encounter, which has enabled me to see beyond the realms of reality as we were taught it to be. It's pretty much what I've discovered to be totally opposite. Okay, I'm growing in this supporting fan base here on my YouTube channel, okay, and also on my Alien UFO channel. But you guys, support is in numbers. Okay, I have no end to the materials that I can actually bring to you. All right, this here, I seen this image the other day. It was airing on an on-demand site on my cable television here, and it was a televised show called Decoded. And most of you might be familiar with that, Decoded. Okay, and on Decoded was this supposed image here of Leonardo da Vinci, a self-portrait, which was actually taken from the, I believe it was the Codex Atlanticus, that was discovered. The art collector that has the original of this, her name is Christina Gerbenio. I believe that's, I'm saying that right, Christina Gerbenio, and she actually had this out on the table, and as she was showing it to the investigators of Decoded, I was drawn into this image, as I am with any image or any artwork that is actually referencing the genetic creation and altering thereof mankind. Okay, to give you a little history of this, if you run across the show, or maybe you can actually get it here on YouTube. Okay, the Decoded airing with Christina Gerbenio with the Codex Atlanticus. Okay, if you get that, basically what you can do is, I lost train of thought here for a minute because I was actually thinking of something else. But anyway, you can take and Google this image, okay? And but as they were, as they were talking about it and discussing it, the camera panned in over the image, the original, and immediately I was drawn into the image as it was me that actually created this, and I knew exactly what was going on. Okay, but they were describing the there's a writing that was down here at the bottom. Okay, and she actually said that if she took a fluorescent light over it, they can see that it was signed by. She said that they found it to be Leonardo da Vinci. And if you read it from, I think, left to right, it said Leonardo da Vinci. And then if you read it from right to left, reverse, it said something along the fence, and that she claimed she lifted. The message actually said, I believe in Latin, that in this way I make myself. Yeah, in this way I make myself. That's the way that the message actually read backwards. Okay, so on face, seeing that for most people that would be viewing that show of Decoded would mean that Leonardo da Vinci made the painting, and by him writing backwards, in this way I make myself, would be a person said, well, this is just him authenticating that this is his painting and this is the way he sees himself in the drawing. No, it's not that. Okay, if his name is going from left to right, as it actually supposed to be Leonardo da Vinci, and then backwards it says in this way that I make myself, then it's telling you that this man, for me that know the truth about what Leonardo da Vinci's work stand for and his paintings stand for, it tells me that he's saying, in this way I make myself, and he wrote that backwards, meaning that if you looked at this image in a reversed way, you would actually understand how he actually genetically altered himself. Okay, and that's what Leonardo's da Vinci messages are about in all of his, pretty much all of his work. His higher knowledge is my position that he got it through an understanding, a paranormal understanding, in a way that I have to understand what his work and what his messages are about, which calls for him to have a higher sense of knowledge and a higher sense of being that gave him the insight to do the amazing works and remarkable works that he actually done, not just in art but in inventions and everything. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some things that I can point you to about his painting that you can actually go, or his self-drawing that you can go and see, and it'll actually enlighten you with what's going on. If you take this image and look, I'm just going to point out some shadow images about this. First of all, okay, if you look at this in shadows, there's an eye, there's a nose, there's a mouth. You'll see a face in here. You go to the back over here, you'll see impressions of faces. This entire image of Leonardo da Vinci's is showing you, and this face here actually you'll see creates almost like the face of a monkey right here. There's a mouth, okay, area. And then this looking like a female Neanderthal woman right in here. All right, what's happening with this is that Leonardo da Vinci is showing you morphine images that calls for his likeness and his genetic altering. Can I change this light so we can not get so many shadows here? Let me see. Well, I might need that light. Let me see if I can bring it over to bring it from where my hand is not actually altering. That's a little bit better. All right, I want to show you some things that stand out in your face, because I'm going to have you Google this image. You can go to the self-portrait of Leonardo da Vinci in the Codex Atlanticus, or you can actually Google Christina Garbinio or Gerbinio or Garbinio. I don't have her name on here for whatever reason. Let me see if I have it here so we can get this right. It's Gerbinio. It's Gerbino. Christina Gerbinio. And by the way, I inboxed her because she has a website. I guess at info@leonardo.davinci.com, and I actually Googled her and inboxed her. I didn't get no message back and all. I tried to reach out to her to let her know that I've actually found the encodings with this within Leonardo da Vinci's painting, since she actually is the holder of the original there, and but she never reached back out to me. I gave her, I think, about 4 or 5 days to get back to me, and we had that Christopher Columbus Day. But anyway, she didn't get back, so now here I am on YouTube sharing it with you guys. Okay, all right. So it's my position that if you look here, there's a Neanderthal-like woman right there. There's her mouth, there's her chin, there's her nose, and there's her eye. It's my position that it creates a witch-like woman who I dub as the mother of creation right there. And her likeness is always appearing with the shadowy image or shadowy figure of the ape. And this is why you see this swirl of hair come back over to this direction, looping over, and creates the face of our ape ancestor there. It's these two beings that are shown, and in all of Renaissance artists' artwork, these images are shown because these two figures are shown as being recognized of what all mankind has evolved from. And this figure here is reminiscent of that of the Medusa-like woman, and that's why you see these objects snaking back over and coming over here, and then at the end is the image of the ape, which is right there. Now, that's hard for you to say, okay, to be totally honest with you, because they're multi-dimensional images, and even though you can see it, I mean, it can be disputed, okay. Well, this is what I want to take you to. I'm going to show you some areas that when you Google this image, when you pull up this image, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take and look into the ear right here. I want you to go in its largest state and then in its least largest state. Go in and out, pan in and out on the eardrum. And within the eardrum, you'll see this face right here. In the ear, you will see this face right here. Alright? The nose, the eye, and the mouth. She almost looks like the Madonna-like woman and all that, with Leonardo da Vinci hair pulled over, almost like the nun. That look, you know the look that I'm talking about. Then I'm going to show you what to look for. I have the image drawn out. You have to go inside of the ear. Where's that face at there? I'm going to see if I can bring this in close to show you kind of sort of what that face looks like in that, where we at in that ear. I'm going to hold it tilted up. I'm going to give you an idea of what to look for here. Let me see if I can bring this in closer for you. Let me see if I can bring this in closer for you. Alright, when you go to the ear, this is what you look for. Now this is backwards too, people, by the way. The chin is there. There's a mouth. There's a nose, and then there's the eye. It's like a hooded woman inside of the ear right there. And since I'm already in this close, remember I told you that she represents the Medusa-like woman? Okay, well, it's shown here. You see this object? This object here snakes over. This is Da Vinci's earlobe. Or is it the earlobe? Yeah, the earlobe. No, the earlobe is at the bottom. Alright, this is the top of the ear part. Okay, the main portion of the ear that bridges over. Well, at the end of that, people, I couldn't draw it up because it's so small. But it creates the face of a worm. Okay, it has a face of a worm. And I'm going to get this enlarged, and I'll take it up. But these are just some of the things, the small things that I want you to go and see. Inside the ear, there's a face of a being, and here is the face of a worm. Now, the tail of the worm comes around and hooks to a larger body of a fish that can be seen. Well, you just seen what I just done right there. Of a fish that is right here, encrypted in the hair portion of Leonardo da Vinci's hair. Now, that fish, and I would like to think that this is an organism or a fish off of a whale or the megalodon shark. And let me find the clasper, because it does has a clasper. Out of the clasper of that fish, which is right, the clasper is right here. This is the tail portion of the fish back here. Out of the clasper portion, I gotta try to get this right for you people. And I have a bigger picture of this here. Let me see where I'm at. Right there. Can you guys see that face? I'm gonna try to get this straight. Wait. Let me see. Let me look at the big. Oh, this is probably too big for you to see. Yeah, you know what? I have this too enlarged. I'm gonna have to go out a bit. I think I have this too enlarged for you to see. Let me back off. I gotta get some better technology here with how I need to do this. Alright. If you come across here, this is the earlobe where there's the worm-like creature shown coming off the body of the fish. This worm-like creature has a face of its own. Okay, but if you come straight across here in the temple area of Leonardo da Vinci and stop right there, there's the opening of the clasper to this fish's body right here. And at the head of that clasper, you'll see a demonic-like figure. Oh yeah, that's better right there. I'm at the mouth, there's the nose, there's the eye. Right there is a demonic-like figure, right there. And then you see the shadowy images morphing towards Da Vinci, and it creates a face right there. An entire face. You see it? Right here? See that face? Nose, eye, head. Shows from the body of the fish how mankind emerged. And it's the same likeness of this face right here. Okay? Shows how mankind and womankind emerged from that of the body of fish. And there's 1, 2, 3 likenesses, and then it's showing you how, and there's 4, because there's another shadow image, and then shows you Da Vinci. Can you see that, people? So when you Google the image, you'll see a red demonic-like figure right there. That's at the clasper. The clasper of the fish is right there. The envelope of it right there shows the first image of mankind emerging out of that clasper of that fish right there. There's the body of the fish. Now, it gets better. Hold on, let me see if I can get that closer for you. Now, I made the image larger because it looks like, it kind of sort of looks like, here's that hairline again, and I can't show you the clasper, and it's probably going to be too large for you to actually see. Alright, but there's an enlargement of that area right there. And this is the opening right here of the clasper of the fish. And coming out of that fish is a you'll be able to identify it because it's a real dark and red area. And as you can see, this is going towards the eye area of the Vinci. Am I going straight across? Yeah, going towards the top of the eyebrow area. It's in direct alignment with that, the top. But here, this is the first emergence of man shown coming from fish there. And behind that, if you got real good eyes, right at the clasper, this is the clasper opening right here, the mouth of the clasper, you will see another image of a face right there, supporting this face. These are our reptilian ancestors that history seems to have overlooked or purposely overlooked, because there are some that actually know how this actually occurred. Okay, so that's my position, that Leonardo da Vinci's hairline is stating that from fish came likenesses of man, and then it shows an emergence of these bloodlines. Okay, now I'm going to go and show you something else, okay, that you can actually see. I'm trying to point you in the direction of things that you can see. Now, if you take Leonardo da Vinci eye, go here, and look into this area right here. There is a blow up of that area of his eye. Right there. There are prehistoric creatures that are shown. I'm going to show you. All you basically have to do is turn it upright, have its eye looking upwards like that there, and you'll see the faces come to life. Okay, you see this creature here, that ape creature right there? You see how this actually almost creates a tree of life in his eye? Look, the ape-like creature here at the bottom shows you from over the ape, bridged over the tree of life, the ape shows you another creature. There's a horse and a bull-like looking creature, encrypted in the area of Leonardo da Vinci's eye. I drew these out. I'm going to do better than that. I just did it for the sake of this video. But look all along in here, people, and you will see the recognizable faces of creatures that I am describing. On this one here, in fact, creates the face of a horse and shows you a mutation. You see it right there? There's the horse's head on this side. The other creature. You know what this is? You know what this is a reminder of? That thing, who was it? Ezekiel or one of them that actually said where God flew in on this creature on this carriage, and the creature that was pulling it had 4 different heads. Well, people, this is what this is showing you, pretty much all of that as well too. This is why I'm telling you that these ancient biblical references in the stories are references of genetic altering and bridging of mankind. And Leonardo da Vinci is showing us that he knew who he genetically was. He's showing us that his genetic identity, which he changed himself, because he had the knowledge and an understanding to do so. So now, let's go back to the title of this. In the bottom, where it is encrypted, or if you run a fluorescent light over it, you would actually be able to see that he said, in this way I make myself. He didn't say, in this way I paint myself, or in this way I draw myself. He said, in this way I make myself. You know what he is describing now? Now that I am showing you that this painting is loaded with encryptions that show how he genetically altered himself. This is Leonardo da Vinci's genetic grail of how he genetically changed his identity. And he is stating in the writing at the bottom, in this way I make myself. But it's not just Leonardo da Vinci, people. Every Renaissance artist that is an artist have this knowledge and have these encryptions in their painting. How can I take and show you multi-dimensional images? These are not just random and displaced images, people, that just so happen to look like they are this, that, and the other. These are images that shows you how this man's likeness, his Caucasian likeness, came from other beings and how he genetically altered himself, which describes in graphic detail how from the ape creature came different likenesses and civilizations of people that subsequently resulted in the dramatic change in man from ape, or the deviation from man from ape, and how they got red hair, how they got blue eyes, how they got gray eyes, how they got long hair, because the original apes didn't have that long. This is describing, people, how it was done in a precise way through genetic manipulation and genetic altering. This entire image, and I have this is nothing what I just showed you. I just showed you what I needed. There is another way that I have lifted images off of this that will actually shock you of what actually is here. It would be mind-boggling to most. But I just wanted to show you where you can go in Google, pan in and out on this ear. Inside of the ear, you will see a face, a shadowy figure of a face. The ear, which you can already see looks strange. There's a face on the ear is a worm, and it shows you on the edge of a face on that, people. You will see a face, and that tail of the worm is shown coming out of the fish that I have just shown you. Okay, and now at the other end of it, where the clasper is on the fish, there's a red demonic-like figure. You will see it because it'll be red. Okay, this is blown out of proportion, blown real high, but you will see it. This creature, and this is the clasper opening of that fish right there. It's like a worm exiting a hole, and you'll see the red face right there along the hairline of Leonardo da Vinci, right in here. You'll see that creature exiting, and not just that one. You'll see 1, 2, 3, 4 if you look, because they are showing you transitioning faces from the creatures from which we evolved, which is the fish. And here, this female is shown in the body of the fish and shown coming out and exiting, and that's why this is like this. All right. Again, go to the eyebrow, to the eye. Turn the eye upwards, and you will see. In fact, I'm seeing right now that this actually, I'm going to draw this out for you right now, because people, this is what I'm talking about right here, along with all of the other encryptions that are in there. let me show you something. There's a bunch of other encryptions in there. Can I get this? Can I get this? Can I get this? Let me go here, under the neck. That's in the eye. Here's the bridge coming around. Now check this out. I'm gonna come around here. Now look, now I'm gonna see if I can, did I stay in the line? No, I didn't stay in the line. I'm gonna stay in the line. It creates, am I up over? Am I here over the head? Okay, coming over. Alright, now, am I still coming over? Then I can do this a whole lot better. I'm just outlining this right now, people. This is under the neck area, right there. The creatures that we evolved from have always been known. And what I'm drawing you here, people, is I can draw you the image of a dinosaur right here in his eye, because this is what this is all implicating. Now I mess around and went off the lip area a little bit, but this here, you see that, people, is creating the head of a dinosaur right in there. The head and neck of that of a dinosaur. Now keep in mind that before you start laughing, that I just drew the head of a dinosaur, but this has nothing to do with the other images. And we all know that from dinosaur, and I'm going to draw this better. This is just for the sake of this video right here. We all know that from dinosaur comes the other creatures, which is on this end, which is a horse right there, the head of a horse, cows, and then look at the other faces with that of ape, that these creatures are stating that they were bridged over. And then look here. So from in the body of the dinosaur, we have horses, we have apes, images of apes, okay, we have cow creatures, and then we have the likeness of man. All of the creatures that I'm telling you that we evolved from. As a result of leaving the oceanic elements of our world. And then what they are showing you is how through a cycle these genetics can be re-intervened into each other again, which I'm assuming would be every 500 to 600 years. They can be reintroduced into one another. So, and this is just the tip of the iceberg of what is actually there. Again, people, the entire painting is full of encryptions. The entire painting. I'm going to see if I can bring that image in for you to show you that red face before I actually leave up out of here, because it's actually hard. Where's the end of it? Where we at? Oh, right there at the tip of this, that red face. You see it? I'm coming in closer, closer, closer. At the tip of there, I should be right at the chin of it. The face is right there. So when you Google that image, go there and then look and turn that eye upwards like I told you, and look at the other faces that are in here. And the entire painting or drawing is encrypted with encryptions that show us that Leonardo da Vinci genetically knew who he was, and it authenticates this painting as being that of Leonardo da Vinci's, because you know what? I'm matching these images here to Da Vinci's drawing of Christ, to his other self-portrait that he has, and to his Vitruvian Man, and to his what else is there that Leonardo has there? Well, most of his other his drawing of the prisoner painting. See that all of these encryptions that are here are also with those other drawings. So they're identically matched to the other drawings as well too. So this is definitely a Leonardo da Vinci painting, even though you have other people that say that it's definitely that. I don't think it's been authenticated yet, but I can authenticate it because the encryptions that are in this painting and that are in sequential order and identifies that Leonardo da Vinci knew who he genetically is and was, then it's the same as well here. But people, I would not be able to give you faces. Hold on. I'm not going to be able to give you this upside down. Eye, head, nose. Multi-dimensional faces that are in his hair that are showing you how this man evolutionized himself genetically from a point in time that genetically furthered him away from of what? The genetics of our ape ancestor, an African ancestor, an Egyptian ancestors, and Asian ancestors. It's showing you how Caucasians moved away genetically. And this is what this is all about. This is why from each continent, from the African continent, how these beings, it's almost like you take a drink and water it down. That's a poor, like if you take something and just keep changing it, cutting it, like a drug, and just keep adding things to it and just keep changing it and making it weaker. Well, actually stronger. I shouldn't say weaker, but they have to make it weaker in order to make it stronger. So in other words, from our ape ancestor, which was a tough gene to crack and break, they had to make it weaker in order to overcome it, to kill it, and then make it stronger and extract genes from it, to finally they're boasting about how they overcame that gene of our ape and African ancestor and subsequently created new genes. And that's why you can see faces of women in there, faces of apes back here. There's the mouth, there's the monkey nose, there's the eye. You see that? See that ape's face right there? I'm going around it right there. This is why, in the face of the woman, and then the other faces, this is why these artworks can be shown for what's happening here. If you were to try to look at this dead on, you could not see it. There are shadowy images of these beings. There's faces of lions in here that was utilized to genetically alter mankind's being. There's lions in here. It's just phenomenal, people. It's phenomenal. But what I want you to look at inside the ear, on the clasper of the fish here, and then go to the eye, turn the eye upwards, and begin to look at the creatures that I'm describing. Because this is why, this is the big secret, this is the big hush-hush, this is bigger than the Holy Grail. You look into that eye and say what I say. My name is Gerone Wright. You're watching my Geronification channel. And it's my position that if you look closely in these drawings, you will see the creatures that I actually see and I actually describe. Alright? I'm going to end this video. It's difficult here. I'm actually seeing it. A lot of these things, I like to have things that you can see right there without my drawings being on it. And for me doing, I guess that's really, you can really see that, and you can see some of the things here. But I encourage you to Google this image and go to the places that I actually, to the highlights that I made. The ear. Look on the end of this worm coming off the fish, and you'll see a face right there. You know what I mean? It's a big, like alien looking face. It's not, it's the whole, don't look for it to be down. It's, in fact, the head is like a heart. Can I draw it on this one? Can I draw that face on this? Okay, the red is actually the face of that. It doesn't stop in the white. It comes all the way down here. I'm going to draw, it comes all the way down here. The face is elongated. Okay? And The face is elongated. So you got to go down past the white portion and come down into the red. Okay? And the face is looking at you, like the eyes. Just to give you an idea, because I'm drawing it upside down. Just to give you an idea, I'm just gonna. Can you kind of see that there? All right. The face is like on a flat. It's like a flat face facing you, like on a worm, and then it actually has like an indentation on the head there. I mean, like a heart. It's like in a heart shape facing you. That's what the face is like, and then it has like a heart with eyes in the mouth. Okay, where the head is separated. All right. So people, look at that. Then look at the face inside of the ear there, and then go to the others that I just told you about. My name is Gerone Wright. You're watching my Geronification channel, and people, this is truly remarkable. Where we at here? I'm trying to see that dinosaur in a smaller version, but anyway, everything else is there. The horses and the other cattle. I'm going to bring that in again for you so you can see. And you'll see heads thrown back and everything else. But let me get that up for you again at Davinci's eye. Look at the faces in the eye. Well, not in the eye, in the red portions here. You'll start to begin to see little faces. Look right in there. And there's a thrown back head here. And this face here resembles that of Davinci's face, to be totally honest with you. But look at the faces here. They're multi-dimensional faces that are actually there. My name is Gerone Wright. I'm gonna end this video. I gotta get out of here. Thank you. Can we stop this? Actually go, or his self-drawing that you can go and see, and it'll actually enlighten you with what's going on. If you take this image and look, I'm just going to point out some shadow images about this. First of all, okay, if you look at this in shadows, there's an eye, there's a nose, there's a mouth. You'll see a face in here. You go to the back over here, you'll see impressions of faces. This entire image of Leonardo da Vinci's is showing you, and this face here actually you'll see creates almost like the face of a monkey right here. There's a mouth, okay, area, and then this looking like a female Neanderthal woman right in here. All right, what's happening with this is that Leonardo da Vinci is showing you morphine images that calls for his likeness and his genetic altering. Can I change this light so we can not get so many shadows here? Let me see. Well, I might need that light. Let me see if I can bring it over to bring it from where my hand is not actually altering. That's a little bit better. All right, I'm going to show you some things that stand out in your face, because I'm going to have you Google this image. You can go to the self-portrait of Leonardo da Vinci in the Codex Atlanticus. Hello everybody, this is Gerone Wright, and once again you're joining me on my Geronification YouTube channel here on YouTube, okay? Or you can, it's Geronification, or I switched it to Gerone Wright, okay? So you can join me at either by searching either one, Gerone Wright or either Geronification. Okay, I have 200 plus some videos here, so I encourage everyone to look at my videos, because they have pertinent information regarding the evolution, the true evolution of mankind, and encrypted Renaissance artworks, from that to multi-dimensional images and holographic images that I can see in space through my paranormal experience and encounter, which has enabled me to see beyond the realms of reality as we were taught it to be. It's pretty much what I've discovered to be totally opposite. Okay, I'm growing in the supporting fan base here on my YouTube channel, okay, and also on my Alien UFO channel. But you guys, support is in numbers. Okay, I have no end to the materials that I can actually bring to you. All right, this here, I seen this image the other day. It was airing on an on-demand site on my cable television here. Would be a person said, well, this is just him authenticating that this is his painting and this is the way he sees himself in the drawing. No, it's not that. Okay, if his name is going from left to right, as it actually supposed to be Leonardo da Vinci, and then backwards it says in this way that I make myself, then it's telling you that this man, for me that know the truth about what Leonardo da Vinci's work stand for and his paintings stand for, it tells me that he's saying in this way I make myself, and he wrote that backwards, meaning that if you looked at this image in a reversed way, you would actually understand how he actually genetically altered himself. Okay, and that's what Leonardo da Vinci messages are about in all of his, pretty much all of his work. His higher knowledge is my position that he got it through an understanding, a paranormal understanding, in a way that I have to understand what his work and what his messages are about, which calls for him to have a higher sense of knowledge and a higher sense of being that gave him the insight to do the amazing works and remarkable works that he actually done, not just in art but in inventions and everything. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some things that I can point you to about his painting that you can and the it was a televised show called Decoded. And most of you might be familiar with that, Decoded. Okay, and on Decoded was this supposed image here of Leonardo da Vinci, a self-portrait, which was actually taken from the, I believe it was the Codex Atlanticus, that was discovered. The art collector that has the original of this, her name is Christina Gerbenio. I believe that's, I'm saying that right, Christina Gerbenio, and she actually had this out on the table, and as she was showing it to the investigators of Decoded, I was drawn into this image, as I am with any image or any artwork that is actually referencing the genetic creation and altering thereof mankind. Okay, to give you a little history of this, if you run across the show, or maybe you can actually get it here on YouTube, okay, the Decoded airing with Christina Gerbenio with the Codex Atlanticus. Okay, if you get that, basically what you can do is, I lost train of thought here for a minute because I was actually thinking of something else. But anyway, you can take and Google this image, okay? And but as they were, as they were talking about it and discussing it, the camera panned in over the image, the original, and immediately I was drawn into the image as it was me that actually created this, and I knew exactly what was going on. Okay, but they were describing the there's a writing that was down here at the bottom. Okay, and she actually said that if she took a fluorescent light over it, they can see that it was signed by, she said that they found it to be Leonardo da Vinci. And if you read it from, I think, left to right, it said Leonardo da Vinci. And then if you read it from right to left, reverse, it said something along the fence that she claimed she lifted. The message actually said, I believe in Latin, that in this way I make myself. Yeah, in this way I make myself. That's the way that the message actually read backwards. Okay, so on face, seeing that for most people that would be viewing that show of Decoded would mean that Leonardo da Vinci made the painting, and by him writing backwards, in this way I make myself.